The camera opens on a sea of blinding studio lights and hushed tension. The set of The View is buzzing with quiet murmurs from the audience, the kind of low hum that means something unexpected is about to happen. Whoopi Goldberg, poised behind the desk, lifts her coffee cup with a faint smile, until her eyes catch sight of the man across from her. Tyrus leans forward, elbows on the table, his massive frame exuding calm but unmistakable resolve. The moment feels electric, like a thunderstorm building over a glassy lake. Nobody knows yet what's about to erupt, but every camera is trained on them, every breath held. And then Tyrus speaks, slowly, firmly, cutting through the air like a blade, and the audience goes utterly silent. The story begins hours earlier, when producers rushed to book Tyrus for the show after a week of heated public debate. He'd been criticized for speaking out about integrity in media, while Whoopi and her co-hosts were defending their own narratives. The stage was set for a conversation, but both sides knew this wasn't just another chat show segment, this was a collision of two worldviews. Viewers at home had no idea they were about to witness one of the most talked about moments in live TV history. As the show unfolds, Whoopi's trademark wit and timing are sharp, but there's a tremor beneath her words, a subtle recognition that Tyrus isn't here for a friendly sparring match. He recounts personal stories of working his way up from nothing, of being misjudged and underestimated, of finding his voice in a noisy world. His tone is not angry but deliberate, almost tender in places, painting a portrait of struggle and self-discovery. Even people who don't agree with him lean in closer, sensing the honesty in his voice. Then comes the pivotal clash. Whoopi challenges him on a controversial point, raising her hand for emphasis, her voice gaining strength. "But you can't just say that," she begins. Tyrus cuts in, not with anger but with measured conviction. He lays out facts, draws on his own experience, and contrasts them with the public perception of The View. His words tumble out like a rising tide, unstoppable but precise. The crowd gasps, then murmurs, then breaks into scattered applause. The tension is cinematic, each beat of silence louder than the last. Behind the scenes, producers scramble. The control room flashes red with urgent signals. Yet on the stage, time slows. Whoopi's face softens, her voice quiets. There's a flicker of reflection in her eyes, a moment where the conversation stops being a fight and becomes a rare meeting of truths. She doesn't fully concede, but she listens. And for a split second, it's no longer about winning or losing, but about understanding. The climax hits when Tyrus shares a deeply personal anecdote, a story about someone he lost because they felt unseen, unheard, and how that loss taught him the value of speaking up, even when the world mocks you. The audience, once divided, now sits in stillness. A woman in the front row wipes a tear from her cheek. Even the cameras seem to linger on the rawness of the moment. As the segment ends, Tyrus lowers his voice and says something unexpected. "We can disagree, but we can't dehumanize each other. That's how we heal." The room breathes again. Whoopi nods slowly, a hint of a smile on her face. She extends her hand across the table, and he shakes it firmly. The audience erupts, not in shock, but in applause that feels like a collective sigh of relief. The broadcast fades to black with both figures still seated at the table, looking at one another with an unspoken understanding. Viewers at home feel they've witnessed something rare, not just a takedown but a transformative exchange. In the aftermath, clips of the segment go viral. Commentators dissect every moment. Some call it a clash, others call it a reckoning. But what sticks is not the argument, it's the unexpected humanity, the courage to speak honestly and to listen. And in the final frame of your video, a voiceover could deliver the message that lingers long after the screen goes dark. In a world that rewards shouting, courage can sound like truth spoken calmly. And sometimes, the real destruction isn't of a person, it's of the walls between us.